The invisible daughter who stopped waiting for a seat at the table. I grew up in a house where the air was divided unequally. My parents didn't just love my brother more, they worshipped the ground he walked on, while I was treated like a guest who had overstayed her welcome. If he succeeded, there was a parade. If I succeeded, it was about time. My name never carried the same weight as his. For 25 years, I lived in the shadow of a golden child who could do no wrong, while I was the scapegoat who could never do enough. The favoritism wasn't subtle. It was in the way my college fund was emptied to pay for his failed business ventures. It was in the way I was expected to spend my weekends cleaning the house while he was out finding himself. My mother would always say, "Your brother has a big destiny, honey. You're just reliable." Reliable. It's a polite word for a person you intend to use until they break. The breaking point came last Thanksgiving. I had spent 3 days preparing the meal, buying the groceries with my own hard-earned money, and making sure every detail was perfect. My brother showed up 3 hours late, empty-handed, and smelling like a night out. Yet, when he sat down, my father handed him the finest cut of the roast and toasted to his uniqueness. During dinner, my brother casually mentioned he wanted to buy a new luxury car. Without skipping a beat, my mother looked at me and said, "You've been saving for that down payment on a small condo, right? Maybe you could loan that to your brother instead. You're staying in that tiny apartment anyway, and he needs to look professional for his new consulting gig." The room went silent. I looked at the table I had set, the food I had cooked, and the parents who had spent my entire life looking through me to see him. For the first time, I didn't feel the urge to please them. I felt a cold, sharp clarity. "No," I said. The word was small, but it felt like an earthquake. My father dropped his fork. "Excuse me? Don't be selfish. Brother is family." "I am family too," I replied, my voice gaining strength. "But in this house, I've been the bank, the maid, and the afterthought. You emptied my future to fund his mistakes once before. It will never happen again." My brother laughed, that smug, entitled sound he'd been making since we were kids. "Come on, it's just a loan. Don't be so dramatic. It's not like you're doing anything important with that money." I stood up and slowly took off my napkin. "You're right. I'm not doing anything important here. In fact, I'm done." I walked to the hallway, grabbed my coat, and picked up the keys to the car I had paid for myself. My mother chased me to the door, shouting about family loyalty and how I was ruining the holiday. I turned back one last time. Family loyalty is a two-way street. You didn't want a daughter, you wanted a safety net for your favorite son. Well, the net is gone. Good luck teaching him how to fall. I walked out and didn't look back. I drove straight to a hotel, ordered a pizza, and sat in the quietest room I had ever known. For the first time in my life, there was no one to clean up after, no one to apologize to, and no one to make me feel small. The next morning, I blocked all their numbers. It wasn't about hate, it was about survival. I realized that you can't heal in the same environment that made you sick. I spent my life trying to earn a seat at a table where I wasn't even invited. Today, I am building my own table, and for the first time, the air feels exactly right.